Check, check, check. 1 2 1 2. Vader Games in the building. You know what we do? Let's do this proper. Vader Games. Large up, everybody in the building. I want to say happy New Year's Eve to each and every one of you. I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV. This is an episode of Why Always Me, episode 130. 130 on New Year's Eve. Listen, it's 5:40 out here in Toronto. This show is going to be more of an acknowledgement, more of a shout out. I don't know if I'm actually going to get through all these topics. I don't know, but I'm here. I'm here just to really have a conversation with each and every one of you. And I want to say, first things first, my peoples come first. My people, those that are here, no longer here, always thought of and remembered. 2025, it's about to get wrapped up. It's about to be over with 2025, in with 2026. And what I want to do, like I always do, is shout out the very first person in the building, showing love in the comments, in the mix. And right now, I got to shout out and say large up to Ash. He goes, big up, Vader. Thank you so very much. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for being in the comments. I got Godfrey in the building. Happy New Year to you and your family, Vader. All the best going into 2026. Same to you, Godfrey. Wishing you all the best family-wise. All the best with your friends. And to you, absolutely. Smash the likes, people. You know what to do. Smash the likes. Be a part of it. Make sure everything's nice and clean. I see you all in the building. Good looking out. Ack in the building goes, breaking. Enzo Maresca is considering resigning as Chelsea head coach. If he does, that is saying volumes for this Chelsea project that we'll look to discuss. Thanks for the update, Ack. We'll get into that. Vader putting in the work as always. Respect. Listen, I'm trying. Godfrey, this show may not be its typical length. I'm going to do my best to get through the topics. I'm actually not even going to put the timer with regards to how we're going to flow through this, but I do want you guys to know how we're going to go along the way. Teal in the building. Pep will extend. Let's not go too far. Let's keep it chill. Let's just say Pep is here until the end of next season, and we'll leave it at that. I don't want to trigger any people. I don't want good vibes today. All right. Happy New Year to you as well, Teal. Everybody in the chat, Happy New Year to you. Hopefully You're spending it exactly how you want it to be spent. Chill vibes, party vibes, reflection vibes, however you want to do it. Just it's your time. It's New Year's Eve, so you do it how you want to do it. Ash goes, he'll get sacked if we beat them. If he gets sacked after losing to City, I think that's harsh. Losing to City is it's not a bad thing. It's not to say that it's an expected thing, but his losses shouldn't be judged based off of a loss to City. I gotta disagree. Maresca was linked with a Serie A job, if I'm not mistaken. If he is, and it's something to do mid-season, I wouldn't advise it. But if he's looking to turn away, if he's saying that this Chelsea project, this Chelsea approach with regards to how they want to build success is not the way to do it, and him walking away from it is huge. It's huge. Echoes, United are monitoring Maresca. No high potential on the cusp of success manager should be considering this United. If you have hopes of being a United manager, now is definitely not the time. Not the time. Wait for more things to progress. Wait for things to kind of level out. This United is way too toxic. If I was the manager with all this potential and I backed myself, I still would not consider going to United. There's better jobs out there. When you think career-wise, stability, there's better jobs than the United job. Maresca should not be thinking that, in my opinion. Godfrey, United are a mess. City are being linked with no or not. Are we? Nah. That leads me to something that I find really interesting, because when you have a player that was once in the Prem doing this thing, obviously over at PSG, and you hear people say that certain players aren't of quality, aren't good enough. Look at Rafinha, right, over at Barcelona. But was he good enough, right? When you think of career, when you think of ability, was he good enough? Like, all of these, they play at these lesser clubs, aren't good enough. Shout out to my man Staffy in the building. I see him in the chat. He's remixing it. He's giving me a remix. Instead of Monday will be fun, he's saying Thursday will be fun. I really hope so. City better get that win. City better get that win. Listen, I see Darsh in the building. He goes, yes, everyone, smash the like button, subscribe. For others around the world, it may be 2026. So happy New Year to those in 2026. I'm still my present is the past for some of you. My president is the past because it's still 2026 for me. But it's all calm. It's all good. This is going to be a sweet, brief show. Let me remind y'all. It's going to be a sweet, brief show. Topics right here. If you're tuning in for the first time, if you're new, hey, you hit that like button. That's just showing respect. That's taking your shoes off. That's hanging up your coat. Like, listen, hit the like button. Topics that we're going to discuss. Sunderland. Our upcoming 3 games. We got to talk about City's players and how they've put in the minutes, what they've logged, because I want to deal with a few things. Definitely the rumors with regards to the January transfer window. No surprises here. Arsenal keep winning. Nothing to really stress about. Nothing to be like, oh, this is a disaster. Game week 18. Like, we can chill. We can chill. Game week 19. We can chill. Nothing's a disaster right now. Liverpool, hilarious with regards to how they're being covered, what they're being talked about, and how they're performing. And if we got time, we got the Q&A. But let's get into it. All right, let me do this nice and proper. Vader games. All right. So it's been a while. I did a match reaction. Hope you all caught that with regards to our last game versus Forest. I do want us to. We do need to talk about Sunderland. We need to talk about the Sunderland game and how important it is. All right, it's important because, again, we want to stay within arm's reach. We want to stay nice and close with regards to this Arsenal and how they're progressing and how they're playing. They've been very good. Not to go so far as to say exceptional, but they've been very good, and they continue to win, deservingly so. Their performance versus Aston Villa, surprising. I'm gonna say surprising and impressive. Some want to go out there and say, like, this is iron stamped why they're going to win the Prem. This is kind of sealed it all up on why they are the favorites. I get all that. They performed really well against a team that was in form in Aston Villa, and hence why we, Manchester City, those of you that happen to not be City fans in the chat, respect you all. But this is why City must win against this Sunderland game. And I say must win. A win, a loss, a draw, not going to be good, especially to close out the year, especially to kind of keep this momentum, because we're going to get these games coming really quick. Every 3 days, we're going to be playing the game. I think we need to keep this momentum. Now, Sunderland is a must win because currently Arsenal have played, so we have a game in hand, but they're 5 points up on us. We need to get this win. Now, Sunderland isn't as threatening, isn't as dangerous as we once maybe looked at them when we looked on the fixture list, because it's December. Many of their important players, many of their impact players are gone with AFCON. Bonus to us, right? We're in good form. We have to continue. We have to continue this. And I've been really happy with how we've been performing from top to bottom. I see in the comments, and I'm going to get to you. I think that Pep, and he talked about it in his press conference, has got to keep this kind of like short rotation because of availability, because of certain players being injured. And I'm going to talk about that later in the show. But I think we can pretty much set our watch to the starting 11 that we're going to have, right? Let's keep this going. Let's keep our attack being the thing that we're leaning on, right? The attack is what we're leaning on. The attack is what I think is causing most problems for teams to really, how they're concerned, even with regards to how they're going to choose to defend us. And as a result, because they're spending so much time on how we're attacking, how they defend, we don't really have much to worry about with regards to their attack, in my opinion. That might change. But Sunderland, let's go and get it. Now, after we play Sunderland, it doesn't get any easier. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see my girl DC in the building. Good looking out. Ash is laughing when I said statement with regards to Arsenal's win. Teal goes, Vader, what is your view on Marmoush? Been very underwhelming this season, and I think he's massively overrated, especially on those massive wages. Probably leaves in the summer. Nah. Teal, I think since his arrival, since Jan, I can't say that I've been disappointed with it. This season in particular, the lack of rotation, we can obviously look at him being injured as to a reason why he hasn't played that much. On top of that, with him having AFCON, and he got hurt on international duty. Marmoush got hurt for us on international duty. I think Pep and his vision or his understanding or his approach for what he wanted was, listen, I got Aït-Nouri and I got Marmoush that are going to be leaving for AFCON. Let me not have them in a very depended rotation, because when they go, now I gotta find out on how I'm gonna fill these gaps with these two players that have been so intricate for us. So I think he was like, listen, let me make do on what I can without them, or sparingly, right? Because Aït-Nouri did play coming back from injury, didn't play very long, but Marmoush has been playing. I know the minutes haven't been great. I think there's a player there, and I think Pep's going to have them featured a lot more after AFCON, after they've done their international duty, their responsibility for their country, because obviously they have their international country pride, and then they come back, and then they're going to be in rotation. I think Marmoush is fine. I don't think we need to overstate things, and massively overrated. I don't know where the ratings are with regards to Marmoush. I think he's excellent for all the praise that Ekitike is getting. If you want to do a comparison for all of that hype up for Ekitike, put Marmoush right up there. If that's the rating, I think everything's nice and balanced, right? I think that's where we put Marmoush, even slightly higher than that. That's the quality of a Marmoush. He's going to be featured a lot more. His wages, certain things are required if you're going to get a player in January. So I'm not too mad at what we're spending on him wage wise. Yeah, that's what I got to say on that one. I see my girl DC. She goes, Happy New Year, Vader. My Canadian neighbor, all the best to you. DC, happy New Year to you. I know that, in DC, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I think you are in DC or in Washington. I could be wrong. But I know that New Year's is actually big, just like in New York. So, curious, or hope you're having a nice New Year's and the celebration is with families and friends. If you happen to enjoy in the beverages, take it nice and chill. Oh, you're West Coast. Okay, on the West Coast. Oh, so you got 3 hours to chill. You got some time. But yeah, bless up. Good looking out. Teal, I think Ekitike is a better striker than Marmoush. Marmoush isn't good as a lone striker. No, he's not. But when Marmoush and Ekitike were playing together, Marmoush was the better goal scorer. That's all I'm saying. All right, let me keep this flowing. And I got a star in the comments, so I'm going to catch up with you. Now, our next series of games, like I said, every 3-4 days. All right. So after Sunderland, we got Chelsea. Now, Chelsea, important game, just like Sunderland, but I think we're a little fortunate because from what I understand, listening in on some of these Chelsea fans, I think Caicedo as well as Cucurella are going to be unavailable as of now. And that's huge. Those are two really important players for Chelsea. So we're going to have those next. And again, in terms of momentum and keeping this going, we also have Brighton, big game. I'm not going to call it an avenge game, but we got Brighton next. That's going to be an important game. And Exeter with regards to the FA Cup. So really important. Every 3 days we're playing. All right. Let's keep the momentum. City, Pep. Let's get this win tomorrow. New Year's Day, right? Let's get this win. And you know what? I kind of said, win and 2025, right? So obviously the game is taking place in 2026, but you know what I mean? Like, let's hope the players are all celebrating modestly with their New Year's. Nothing too late, not too many beverages, and then they're good to go for our game on New Year's Day. Huge. I'm gonna be watching. I hope. Match reaction. Actually, I got to do a thumbnail for that. Match reaction tomorrow. I got to do that as well. All right, let me start up these comments. Good looking out. Maresca gone. Wow. Wait, what? Please, is Maresca officially gone, or is it just with regards to the rumors? Now, I want to put this on screen. Oh, sorry, I hit the microphone. Let me see if I can make this work real quick. Oh, let me also speak on this. So, I myself wanted to take the time and say thank you, Manchester City, for 2025. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you in the chat for 2025. It's been such a great year. I've been challenged to be more consistent. You guys have shown me that, hey, Vader, you're more consistent, and I'm going to be here for you in the chat. I want to thank each and every one of you for that because we go hand in hand. It's a partnership here, and you guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Let me see what Staffy Saney says. Godfrey goes, I can see City ending Sunderland home run. Yeah, their home win record has been kind of nice because you have to keep the race on. I think we apply pressure. And at the time when we did play, it was Crystal Palace. But yeah, we got to keep this going. About to resign. Listen, Staffy, if Maresca resigns, I give him tremendous credit. Like a manager recognizing, like, I'm in an environment where I'm not going to get success. I'm going to be overly criticized and scrutinized for all of these decisions. And it's going to lead to a great conversation. Like you said, Thursday is going to be fun because when we talk about this Chelsea project, when we talk about this Chelsea plan, Clearwater or Clear Lake or whatever, we're going to really get into, is this really, for Chelsea fans, is this really like, hey, I know my club's out for winning, or I'm a supporter of my club and it is what it is? Because if Maresca's saying bye, a manager that's won 2 trophies for them already, if he's going to resign, he's resigning because he does not see winning in his future. And we're going to have to discuss that. That's going to be huge. But I want to say thank you to each and every one of you with regards to my channel, the support, the comments, the subs, and the feedback and the support. You guys have hit me up in the comments for publicly as well as privately, and it's meant a lot. So I want to say thank you, and I'm going to do my best to be even more consistent and play with my creativity with regards to how I give you my thoughts with regards to football in Manchester City. So much appreciated. But I had to say that, and I also had to say thank you to Manchester City. I know 2025 wasn't the best of years, right? We've seen the highs, right? But I also, you don't appreciate sunshine if it's sunny all the time, right? You don't appreciate a nice hug if all you get are like waves, right? You don't appreciate good food if you have it all the time. And we were without some goodness last season, but it puts things in perspective with regards to thank you, City, for all the things that you've been doing the past few years, and even thank you last season for the fight that you put in, because we had some low results. I'm not going to say low effort because the players were fighting for us, the manager was fighting for us, but we had some very low results, and I want to say thanks for the fight. That's the one thing I always want to see as a fan of my club. I want to see the players fight, and I want to say thank you. 2025 was not easy, but we see what that fighting means, because we're now potentially, we're currently 5 points off, game in hand, but we could be 2 points off of a title race, and that's huge compared to what we were last season. And I had to put this graphic up because this graphic had me laugh. I cut out all the other stuff because it was attached to a Twitter X post, which was hilarious because there's a lot of praise. If you saw this complete post with regards to obviously Arsenal at the top, and you can only imagine how Arsenal fans were talking about this last 3 years. But I want to put this in perspective, and I think those in the chat that happen to be Liverpool fans will also have an appreciation, because okay, over 3 years your club didn't tally the most points, but the club that's in second and third delivered what we all love, what Arsenal fans have been 21 years celibate for. Sorry, Godfrey, but this is why I got to say thank you to my club, because despite not being the best club over 3 years, you gave me a four-peat. That 91 points was a four-peat, so I want to thank them for that. Let me catch up. Ash goes, he's not sacked yet. Yeah, he hasn't resigned yet as well. Really loved your content. 10K 2026. Listen, I appreciate that. I appreciate that love. We'll see. From your messages to God's eyes. At goes, they did not replace Colwell, saying we will have extra players, so they don't care about winning. Not signing Osimhen back then was a biggest red flag. I don't want to get into this, Ak. I don't want to get into it because I do have a lot to say, and I appreciate you as a Chelsea fan. The Chelsea model is flawed for winning. The Chelsea model is hopeful for winning, and Maresca got winning done. Yes, he got winning done with the Conference League Cup and with the Club World Cup. But that's an outlier. Again, the Conference League Cup, you're expected to win that. You had more quality than everyone else you were playing against. All right, it's pretty much playing your B or C team. But with regards to the Club World Cup, you had now, when I say outliers, because this is a preseason tournament, and I'm not disrespecting it, but it's a tournament before the season really kicks in, before signings are really fully baked in as well. And I want to emphasize, a knockout competition is very different to the league. And when it comes down to the league, what you need to look and lean on and have is obviously skill, ability, of course. There's mentality, and then there's experience. And the Chelsea model is flawed because it lacks. It looks to build, it looks to grow experience, but it does not have experience in its foundation, and that's a problem. That is a huge problem. And I'll get into it when we do catch up on American Waffle, or talk further about this on another show. DC goes, how is your knee doing? Hope you're fully recovered. DC, you are incredible. Thank you for remembering that. Quad is fully healed. My mobility is, I don't want to, did I say perfect? I mean, squatting, everything, I'm good. Strength, range of motion, speed, jumping, I'm all good there. What I'm still working on is just, with regards to like deep squat, I don't want any type of irritation. And right now there's a little bit of a body check when I go deep squat, but all good. more detail than it was needed. But DC, no, thanks for asking. Everything's good with regards to that. It's been a great year. All right, let me start this, guys, and keep going. Now, I wanted to put this up on screen. Let me take this off real quick. Vader games. So we're going to move from here to here. Where is this bad boy? Now, you know what? The thing that's funny about this is our players and what they've been able to do, how they've performed, and how they've been used is huge. I'm going to put this up, and I'm only going to focus on this real quick for you guys to see on screen. So let me do this. Vader games. All right, what do we see here? Actually, I got to scroll this up a little bit higher. My bad. I wanted to talk about the players and what they've delivered for us this season. Vader games. All right, and with regards to this topic right here, we got to talk about City player health, minutes played, right? So when I mentioned that we could pretty much set our clock to what Pep wants to do, rotation-wise, player-wise, he's got things pretty much set, right? He's got the availability of certain players, and because of that, I'm gonna do a quick review because look at what we're seeing here. Bernardo, minutes played, no surprises there, right? But I've been hearing this go amongst many City fans. Some rivals are trying to compare their clubs to City and Pep's management of certain players. I want to say this. Let's be really honest here. We've all watched football. We all have our conversations with regards to player, rotation, availability. Not all player minutes are the same. Can we all agree to that? Can we all agree that not all player minutes on the pitch are the same? All right. So when you see like 1,200 minutes from Bernardo, it's very different to when you're going to see, and as I scroll down, it's going to be very different for when you see 1,500 minutes for Ruben Diaz. Right. It's actually also going to be very different for when you see Erling Haaland's 1,500 minutes on there. Very different. When you look at on another show, I'm actually going to break down with regards to kilometers ran, kilometers covered. Not all runs are actually the same as well. The intensity of the run, up and down versus side to side on a pitch, very, very different, right? And minutes played can be very misleading. It gets manipulated. But Haaland playing so many, when he is asked mainly to be that danger threat in the box, he hasn't been asked to do that much pressing. And yes, he puts in a shift defensively with regards to set pieces and corners, but he is not a player that is making a run up and down the pitch. Bernardo Silva, on the other hand, very different. We see him left, right side of the pitch, up and down, covering. Very different with regards to the minutes, right? So midfielder minutes are very different to defender minutes, and it's very different to striker minutes. Now, players on the wing, our midfield, even our left and right back, different ask here. But when we're looking at Ruben, Donnarumma, Gavardio, Haaland, I think those are pretty unique. Now, I'm going to want to look, and what's the most important question, and this is where you want to challenge people that kind of have these conversations at times, is not only do you want to look at the minutes, but you want to look at the kilometers logged. Because I think a Nico G, who's logged in a few minutes, or let me find Nico. Where's my guy? Why am I not finding Gonzalez? He's logged 12,000 minutes. But when you look at the amount of minutes that he's logged, then you also want to look at how much he's covered with regards to the pitch. Those are the important stats. That's when you want to really geek out and nerd out and see, do we have concerns here? But Pep and how he's managed these players, how I think he's also, and we've criticized it in terms of some of the performances, in terms of, we weren't pressing, we didn't have that same intensity. I think it's been done by design as well. Certain games, the opponent's like, you know what, we're going to concede. We're not going to really press you like that. We're going to set traps like we did versus Liverpool. We didn't really press them crazy, right? Even when we played Arsenal, we didn't press them crazy. We're going to pick our moments. Now, that is all going to play a part as the season kind of progresses, because we're going to have to essentially outlast Arsenal and their players, and how much minutes and kilometers that they're logging, the intensity that they play. They are running, all right? And again, I want to emphasize this, because they don't really score like that. I know they went on a scoring spree versus Aston Villa, but that's not routine. That's not customary. A lot of their games go out late where they're chasing that winning goal, or the way they defend, and all of them are sprinting back. Pep's management of the players, Pep's management of health has been exceptional. I think it looks like, as we talk about January transfer rumors, it looks like we're going to have Doku coming back, if I heard that correctly in a press conference. Rodri was on the bench, which is great news. I think we're going to continue to be out we're going to be out of Kova being available, but everyone else is available. John Stones, I don't think anything's keeping him out that's like terribly injured. But health-wise, we're looking pretty good. We have O'Reilly. We have Mateus Nunes, who've been really solid despite all the minutes logged in. And I agree with you, Ash. O'Reilly does need a rest. Where is that rest going to come from when Aït-Nouri's already gone for AFCON? I don't know. I don't want to see him put Gavardiol at left back. Can Ake put in a spell? Will change definitely how we play. But can Ake play a spell out there? Yes. And one thing I would also want to emphasize here is we just need to handle our business goal scoring wise, and then let's lean on this defense a little bit. Let's see how teams want to try to break us down with a mid block. We don't really do low blocks, but this is where the adaptation, the shift in how we play is happening, and I'm really happy with it. But don't let anyone get lazy and be like, oh, these players are logging too many minutes. It's really on how are they logging those minutes? Are they putting in that grind? Are they running heavy? Are they like chasing down, putting their bodies on the line with regards to blocks and sprinting up the pitch for counters? This is all those things we need to put in consideration. Teal goes, let me find my mouse. Teal goes, Arteta is scared of losing games, so everybody has to run to stop transition, hence the never-ending injury crisis. How they play, how they defend, it is really taxing. It's really taxing, and I think this is why we have a very good approach with regards to the entire season. I do have, on another show, CIA Intelligent Agendas, I've got some really good agendas with regards to Arsenal. Egal is not going to be a fan of me. Egal, and I do a show with Egal, but he's not going to like what I have to bring up because I've been taking notes, and I'm going to give him the same energy he was giving me with regards to Foden, although in this case, I'm going to be using his lines, remixing his lines and applying it to him with regards to Saka. And I hit him up in his chat just the other day, and I was like, in a season where they need to win the title, where it's important, your best player, who you were telling me, Saka, and trust me, no Arsenal fans are talking about Saka being their best player this season. Saka's like their fifth, maybe sixth most important player this season, even with regards to his impact. So the agendas are going to be flying. CIA is going to be on fire. Don't miss that. Now, transfer rumors. The elephant in the room. Nothing's official yet. I mean, if we want to kind of read body language, if we want to reinterpret things, Semenyo was saying goodbye for a long time to his fan base. Him coming to Manchester City, I'm not mad at. I welcome it. I encourage it. I think it's going to be great. My EAFC game is going to be lit. So I'm really happy with that. I'm going to be on fire with that if he comes to the club. On top of that, I think he adds another dynamic. Obviously, Doku's been injured, unfortunately, but having Semenyo is going to be huge. He can play on either wing, but even him on that right wing, Doku on that left, Holland up front, the creation, the goal scoring. We got 2 of the top 3 goal scorers in the league. We're gonna have, I think, the best grouping of chance creation with regards to Doku, Foden, Shirky. Absolutely incredible. Yo, good looking out. Apologies for that one. Now, I also want to say with Semenyo, I think the business isn't over. The rumors, and I'm not an ITK. I'm not an ITK. You know that. I don't claim to be. I am fortunate to get some messages. I do get included in a few conversations. I'm not saying any of this stuff is super exclusive, right? I'm probably like many of you. I happen to be in a few chats where I get secondhand information. But apparently, we're not stopping with Semenyo. And I can understand why the club may choose not to stop with Semenyo. League titles aren't easy to win. The attitude of we'll be here again, we'll go on again, it doesn't happen like that. It really doesn't. Hence why I was saying thank you to Manchester City for 2025, because it puts so many things in perspective that we can sometimes take for granted. But we're so close with firming up this rebuild in terms of players that have aged out or players that aren't as available because of injury, so we got to shore things up. Our business is not done from what I hear with regards to Semenyo. Is it going to be a madness like last Jan? Probably not. But if we go out and get a wing player in addition to a defender or in addition to a midfielder, I'm like, this Hugo's not joking. Hugo's like, listen, Tiki left a legacy. I need to make my own legacy. I've got to do things. So it looks like he's gonna make some moves in this January transfer window, and it's gonna be 2 possible signings. Large up Fox in the building. I see you. Large up Mason. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. I'm doing a little bonus show. I recognize that it's 11 o'clock UK time, so this show's not going to go much longer. I just wanted to tackle a few things. I want to say large up, bless up, and love to each and every one of you. No, Ash, do not do that. I am not an ITK. That's for other people. Teal goes, Gehi comes to City, and Ake goes to Palace. Ake goes to Palace. I didn't say it. I was saying a comment. I didn't say that. So don't hold me to that. But, and those of you listening and not watching, I'm just holding up the shh. But business isn't over. Now, if we happen to go into the market and we get Semenyo, who Liverpool were interested in, and I know there's Liverpool fans that said, oh, Semenyo's not quality enough. Semenyo's not a needle mover, all this kind of stuff. This is why I mentioned earlier, there were players at Wolves, players at Leeds that have ended up at PSG and Barcelona, and many people want to say these players weren't good enough at the time to come to their club. You don't know. You can't just look at where they are club-wise and be like, they're not good enough. You have to look at the ability of what you've seen, some of the skill sets that you have, and then also understanding the surrounding of who they're going to be amongst. They're going to be amongst players that'll get the best out of them. They're also going to be in a coaching staff. They're going to be in an environment where they can raise their level. I don't think Semenyo has plateaued. I don't think he's capped. I think Semenyo can get to a next spot, and him amongst these other players, him not being able to be doubled up on, or if he is doubled up on and his intelligence to get it to the other midfielder or attacker with regards to Holland and we cook, I'm happy with that. I am very cool with that. I think it works. I got nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Teal, Definitely need a midfielder. We do need a midfielder, and I think we need a midfielder that, guys, I'm gonna sound real greedy right now, real greedy. Okay, I'm gonna warning you right now, real greedy. But, and I don't think this happens in the January transfer window. But if we happen to go and get Anderson or Wharton, either, those guys made the best decisions of their careers, first and foremost. Two, we're gonna be a problem. We're gonna be a real problem. Trevor in the building, I see you. Big up, large up. Happy New Year to you and yours. If we happen to get either player, it's a problem. I think it was right. I think it was fitting for Declan Rice not to have come to Manchester City. I think that would have been overkill. I think that would have been like, he's talented. I'm not taking anything away from Declan Rice. He's not a complete player, but what he does well, he's very effective. Him at Manchester City, him with Pep's guidance, like with an attack-minded man, guy would have been unstoppable. He didn't want that challenge for whatever reason. He thought his choice was going to be Arsenal. This might be his year, right? For what he's aspired to, and it may be another year where he's made the wrong decision. Trevor goes, all the best for the new year. Gonna get, hey, do what you got to do so responsibly. Yep, be good with those decisions, my friend. That's all I'm gonna say. Anderson followed City and Holland on Instagram. He's coming to. I don't know how true that is. If he did, credit to him. But I like that investigation, Teal. I like that. I like that knowledge that you got. Now, the rumors don't stop there. We'll see, because once that transfer window opens, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild. So it's gonna be managing that as well as the game. So Pep, he's not gonna answer anything. He's like, until the player is a Manchester City player, don't ask him nothing. He got nothing to say with regards to any type of transfers. He's got nothing to say with regards to any type of players leaving. That is, his lips are gonna be sealed. He ain't saying nothing. But I'm happy with the rumors that we're having. I think it's really good. Now, let me keep this flowing. Let me take this off screen and go back to this. Vader games. Now, I have to say this. This Arsenal team are good. I've never said that they're not. This Arsenal team were impressive versus Aston Villa. They did that without Declan Rice. The 4-1, I think, isn't a true representation of the game in the second half or even the first half. I think if I'm going to be really balanced, they got favorable ref non-calls in that game, right? This is what I find really interesting is some of the lack of foul calling that was happening in the game, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Were Arsenal the better team for the full 90? I would say yes. But it could have been a lot stressed, a lot tighter than it actually was. Teal goes on to say Anderson followed. I mentioned that. Villa also had 3 key players out. Villa weren't the strongest, but at the same time, I think Unai Emery, the moment got big for him. I don't think he coached or managed his best game. I also think that it's one of those where it's like the game got away from him. You take this, and then you got to move. Arsenal fans are obviously they're gonna be excited. They got the win. It's against Unai Emery. We know that the bad blood. We know the conversations. We know all of that. So they're gonna take this and move. But we just got to handle our business. Don't expect Arsenal to lose. Honestly, don't expect them to lose. Let me pull up who they play and what they got next. I talked about our next 3 games. Let me pull up Arsenal's. So, and I'm not going to do this whole next run of games for the remaining of 2026, but their next game on Jan 3rd is going to be Bournemouth. No Semenyo, potentially a weakened squad. I know it's away. Chalk that up as a win. But on the 8th, 5 days later, they play Liverpool. And this is a Liverpool that have kind of shored things up slightly defensively, right? They're not as leaky as they used to be. They're not making as many mistakes as they used to. So we got to look at how Arteta is going to manage Bournemouth 5 days later, Liverpool 3 days later, Portsmouth in the FA Cup, and then 3 days later, a semi-final with regards to Chelsea. Big. I know they're not all league games, but these games accumulate. They have an effect. This is what we want to monitor. And yeah, we try to keep pace where we can. Let me catch up with these comments. I see y'all in the building. Blue, advance, Happy New Year, Vader. Listen, Blue, bless, love to you. Happy New Year. Drink responsibly. All right. And make good decisions. I know it can get kind of crazy on New Year's. City till I die. Richard in the building. I see you. Good looking out. Ted or Teal. If Watkins finished his chances, it would have been. If he had finished his chances, if there were, and again, I'm not even. Let's take chances away. Even if this ref was like, he did not want to affect the game from a second yellow standpoint, which I found very inconsistent, and I think players took advantage of that. Moreno was really, really, really lucky not to have been called for a foul, right? Because had he been called for a foul, I'm just saying, had the ref called it a foul, not called it and assessed the yellow, but had he called it a foul, fouls, correct me if I'm wrong, fouls do go under review, right? The ref didn't even see a foul. It's crazy. City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United all take points off them. Yeah, it's true. Man, I don't know how Arsenal players recover from serious injuries so fast. Nah, I don't think injuries. I don't think they've been that serious or a quick turnaround. It's muscular, and muscular injuries need rest. Yeah, that's really what it is. It's not that bad. Blue goes, I'm a teetotaler? I'm a teetotaler. Oh, like you're a toddler? You're saying like you're young? All right. All right. Now, Arsenal keep winning. We don't need to stress. We just need to handle our business. They got a tough upcoming games. We just need to watch them one by one. We know, not on this channel, but on not on this show, but on CIA, we'll apply the pressure. We know where the pressure points are. We know where to apply these pressure. What I want to also discuss is this Liverpool keep winning, rightfully so. And what's funny is with their winning, you got Liverpool fans, and I've seen this so many times, especially with United fans. Once they hate a manager, once the manager's kind of like lost their trust, no matter what the manager does, they want him out. Now, Arnie, without Mo Salah, has got them winning. I think they're, 7 unbeaten streak that they're on. They're not leaking as many goals as they used to. You're not seeing as many mistakes. This Liverpool are going to be a problem. And if we go with regards to Liverpool, they're 4th. Freaking Chelsea aren't doing their job, right? Chelsea aren't doing their job to keep them out of Europe. Their upcoming matches are pretty easy, right? They got, and this is why I said they were going to go on a run. They got Leeds at home on New Year's Day. Then they got Fulham away. That's going to be tough. They got Arsenal, like we discussed, away. So they're playing Arsenal away. And then in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, they got Barnsley. So it's all kind of chill. And even after that, they got Burnley, and their tough game in Champions League is Marseille. But I don't even think that even matters for them. Or does it? Yeah, actually, it probably does matter for them in the Champions League. So Arsenal, Liverpool, they're going to be in the mix. I hate to say it. Obviously, Arsenal are going to be in the mix, but Liverpool in Europe, I'm annoyed. I was hoping that the other clubs will handle their business, make life difficult, but Arne Slot isn't the idiot that all Liverpool fans claim that he is. He's not far off. He's not a genius like they were proclaiming last season, but he's not an idiot either. So he's going to have them well sorted. We just got to accept that they're going to be in Europe as well. They're going to go into the market and strengthen. And maybe that's why the rumors with regards to what we might do in this January transfer window are happening, because we don't want Liverpool to be able to do what they do, keeping Europe. Let me catch up with these comments. Blue goes, Vader, when ref is going to put a line on the players obstructing. I don't know when. How do I think keepers need to also assess the danger that they're in with regards to, can they get to the ball? Can they not? Can they flick or punch the ball out of bounds? Can they punch it out of play? And as the play continues, if there is contact, then that gets under review. But this trying to catch and spilling it, I think they need to, keepers need to smarten up and see what they can quote unquote get away with, and how they can best guard against it. Because I agree, I think it is crap. Players are bumping into them on purpose. I mean, Bernardo does it for us in a way kind of as well. But yeah, the keepers need to figure out how they can combat it within the rules. They're under no pressure. They're Play-Doh. That's why Liverpool are winning. Yeah, I mean, they've got easy comp. Liverpool got easy comps. I see no issues with it. We just need to win the rest of our games and we'll win the league. Believe. The belief is heavy, Ash. The belief is heavy, no question. But we also got to keep monitoring, right? We got to look what's happening over there. What's happening over there at Arsenal? What's happening over there at Liverpool? But we still handle our business, obviously. Now, I think that, and I want to say this, I wanted to take time to say this. I've been so appreciative, and I've recognized how much you guys have added to the reminder or added to the encouragement with regards to Vader, keep doing your thing. I promise you, I'm going to continue to tweak with regards to what I want to do audio-wise, some of the visuals that I want to have, even some of the themes. I've been very, very lone wolf-ish with regards to the content. And obviously I send out the link when possible, able to join. I'm going to do more in terms of some one-on-ones. I want to do a few more one-on-ones, not to the length of an hour 30 that you're often seeing with regards to some channels, but I do want to have some one-on-ones with some really key questions. So I'm going to lean on you guys in the chat. I'm going to try to do some community posts. I'm even going to ask the questions with regards to some of my shows. I just want you guys to respond, and you hit me up, because sometimes I know that you guys take part and you're watching other shows. You're kind of getting some of the dirt on some of these other channels, and it's like, hey Vader, here's something to maybe suggest. So I'm gonna ask that of you as I do some of my one-on-ones with shows upcoming. Also, this year for me, DC mentioned it. There was like my quad recovery, fully healthy, mobile, back to sprinting. And I want to say thank you for making 2025 special. Everybody in the chat, I hope you guys are going to have a fantastic new year. Look out for me to maybe share some of my festive activities with regards to what's happening tonight. It is 6:30 my time. I'm going to shut down on this show. Encourage you all to hit that like before you leave. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this on a replay. But those of you that were part of this show live, thank you so very much. Enjoy your countdown. Enjoy your New Year's. 2026 is going to be amazing for you personally. Football is football. But personal life, make that special. And I'll do my part to add to it as well. Bless each and every one of you. Love, and let's go Blues. Let's go to you. And don't forget, because today I'm gonna do a match reaction. So subscribe if you haven't. Match reaction, and we're gonna do CIA on Sunday. Sit at Intelligent Agendas. Don't miss that one. Don't miss that one. I think we're going to have some fire. But bless, love to each and every one of you. I'm going to remember that DC's out on the West Coast now. Now I know DC's out on the West Coast. Large up to my girl over there. Blue, before I go, he goes, Vader, Silva never did the obstruction thing to this level. No, he didn't, but he does his version. He does his version. That's all I'm saying. But, and DC, good looking out. Much appreciated. Each and every one of you. I'm going to catch you on the next show. I'm Vader Games. Enjoy this outro and expect some new things dropping next season or next year, as I say. And we'll talk.